All right, in this lesson, I'm going to show you what the graph of y is equal to sine x looks like. So I'm giving an empty Cartesian plane here and also an empty table of values. And we're going to use that table of values to graph the function y is equal to sine of x. So take a look at all the x values that we have here. We want to find the corresponding y values for each of those x values. So taking a look at the first x value, we have negative 360. So you're going to take your function, y is equal to sine x, and you're going to evaluate it when x is equal to negative 360. So we're going to use a calculator to do that. Before you do, make sure that you're in the right mode. So we are working with degree measure here, so you make sure that calculator is in degree mode, and mine is, so I don't have to change anything here. So get out of this screen here. We're going to evaluate when x is equal to negative 360. So you're going to plug in sine of negative 360, and you're going to get a corresponding y value of 0. So that goes right in the table right there. Let's do the next point, sine of negative 330. And that's going to give us a point of 0.5. And that's going to go, once again, right inside that table. The next point is negative 270. So the corresponding y value is going to be positive 1. So that's going to go right in here. So you're going to repeat that process for every single x value in this table of values, and you're going to get these corresponding y values, which I already had set up for you. And then what you're going to do with each of these points is, of course, graph them on this empty Cartesian plane. So let's start with the first point here, negative 360, 0. So that's going to be an x-intercept located, I'll use a different color here, right there. Okay, let's look at the second point, negative 330 comma 0.5, and that's going to be right there. Let's take a look at another point, negative 270, which is this point, comma 1, and that's going to be right there. Okay, let's carry on here. Negative 210.5 is going to be right here. Okay, and finally, negative 180 comma 0 is going to be, again, at an x-intercept. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this, and I'm going to graph the rest of the points. All right, so I went ahead and plotted all those points, and so you should get something that looks like this. Now your last step is to, of course, go ahead and connect all those points. So if we start from the negative side here, our graph is going to start right here. Okay, it's going to rise up, come down. Okay, then it's going to start to rise up again. Okay, then it's going to go down. Okay, so as you can see, there is a pattern with a sine graph. You have some sort of wave, and that keeps going. It just doesn't stop at 360. That graph still extends outwards. So what you have here is what we call a sine wave, and I think the phrase sine wave is quite self-explanatory. It looks like a wave, and so that's my lesson on what the graph of y is equal to sine x looks like.